I'm gonna wait for this van to go in and punch it. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over the all-new 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT Performance. This is the one that everyone has been waiting for. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Ford Lincoln here in Provo for giving me some time with this Mach-E GT Performance. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Let's get into the video. So we of course have to go over the front area. You guys can see storage space here is actually pretty decent, and that's one of the benefits of going fully electric is, well, you have a little bit of extra storage space. And then notice here we've got this to release it if you get trapped inside. And then also there's a Mustang horse here on the, it's kind of hard to see, but it's on the bottom of the hood. And other than that, Now let's go to the front end of the GT Performance. First off, I love the color on this particular one. It has this cool kind of stealth appearance because of it. You guys can see the really prominent body lines there on the hood. And then coming down below, we've got the LED accent lights with the LED headlights themselves, super bright. Got the black accenting down here with the parking sensors integrated to the front. And then notice the metallic gray here with the front grille. And notice how they do a pattern to make it look like it's a grill, even though it's all closed off. Got the Mustang horse right there. And you can see really aggressive front splitter here, and yeah, overall you guys can see really good, really aggressive front splitter and front end. And I can't talk today, so you know what, this clip's over. So now let's go over the specs that matter. So we have 260 miles of driving range on a full charge, 480 horsepower, 634 pound-feet of torque, and that gives us a 0 to 60 time of 3.5 seconds, which is 0.3 seconds faster than a regular Mach-E GT. Now coming to the side here, I've got two 45mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front and over in the rear. And let me tell you, I'm a huge fan of the GT Performance wheels. They look significantly better than the regular GT wheels. Just super aggressive, and you can actually see what's happening there with the rotors and the calipers. And by the way, this has Brembo brakes, as you can see. Finished in red, which look really aggressive. Definitely love the styling on it. We've got the body painted fender flare here on the side, and then look at the black accenting right there. We have our Mach-E 4X badge right there. We've got this to charge it there on the side. That's just the charging port. And then you got the black trim there at the very bottom. Notice the mirrors are blacked out, and then the whole roof. And look at that. There's your full side view. And look at in the rear, just kind of that. Looks great. Now here is our key fob. You got the Mustang horse there on the back. We've got our unlock lock opening here for the hatch, and let's pop in the rear. So you guys can see, just like all the other Mach-Es, super practical. This has the rubber floor mats that come with it, and then the floor covering there at the very bottom, and then you've got some extra storage underneath that little thing as well. 12 volt here on the side, and we've got the cover here for the back. And then when you're all done, just press that, and then it'll close it back up. But yeah, super practical from a storage space perspective. Now let's go over things here in the rear. So obviously we have the cool Mustang taillights here, which yeah, I'm a huge fan of. Got the GT badge, and then notice here with the camera just up above it, parking sensors here on the bottom. And you guys will notice there's not a performance badge on this at all. So like, to a regular person, this is just a regular Mach-E GT. There's nothing that really differentiates this. Other than, again, the wheels are different, but like, there's not like a badge that differentiates this from a regular GT. So it's kind of a sleeper. So here's the door panel in the rear. We first have soft touch up here, and then we've got the Alcantara down below, and then the leather trim down below that with the stitching that goes throughout. I love the trick door handles. And then this has the Bang & Olufsen sound system. And then here are the seats for the GT Performance. You got these special seats with the leather, and then look at the design here in the center. Looks really cool, and it's actually three different materials. So again, you've got the leather, you've got the Alcantara, and then this is like cloth here in the very center. And then let's pop here, so you guys can see legroom, and then headroom, and then we have the full glass roof, which is pretty cool. We've got the vents down below once the camera decides that it wants to pick it up, and then a couple of USB ports, then cup holder armrest, and let's head to the front. Now here's the door panel at the front. Again, you've got the metallic trim here. Again, soft touch at the top with the Alcantara, and then the leather trim down below. All of our window controls with the mirror adjustments, memory seats, and then you guys can see blind spot monitoring for the mirrors. And we've got our GT badge right there. It doesn't say performance, just says GT. And then we have the performance seats, which look pretty crazy. Look at the bolstering here. at the top. That is so unique. And I'll show you guys a passenger seat because the lighting's kind of bad. You can see it a little bit better. And then the bolstering down below, and same thing with the Alcantara and the cloth in the center. And then you guys can see the bottom portion of the seat. Really interesting. Got the power adjustments. And then there are the pedals just down below. Got the light controls right here. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. And then you guys can see Alcantara right here. And then on the dash with the denim. And let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel. So you've got really nice leather trim here with the stitching on the center. We've got our volume controls, voice command controls right there. Cruise control here on the other side. It is adaptive. We have our turn signal stock. We got our windshield wiper stock. And well, that's all for the steering wheel. Here is the center gauge cluster, and I'm glad that it actually has a center gauge cluster. You can see ground speed. I think it's funny it says ground speed. You can see the range off to the side. This isn't fully charged up, but that's how much range we have right now. And then you can see what gear you're in as well. And yeah, that is everything for that little center screen. Now we have the massive infotainment system. First off, we'll go over the camera part of it. So you guys can see we've got the bird's eye view here, and you got the backup camera down below, which you can zoom in there, which is pretty cool. And then notice you can even zoom in with this. You got the different like viewpoints right there, which is great. So yeah, really good from a camera perspective. Now if we press the little Mach-E icon right here, we've got the drive modes. Something that I noticed about the GT Performance is you have Whisper, Engage, Unbridled. There isn't an Unbridled Extend that I can see like on the regular GT, which I think is pretty interesting for this to have, but you know, no big deal. And then you can press this, pops on the camera, so like you got the front camera too. So that's pretty simple with that. And apparently I don't know how to use the infotainment system. There we go. That's the right X. I got confused. Anyways, you got all these other things you can go through. So we're not gonna spend too much time on that. And then you can have this pull down. This is kind of like your media pull down because it's got like the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, all that fun stuff. There is some car stuff in here as well, but it's kind of more of like the media section because it's got all the phone stuff. And then you have like the regular section of the infotainment system. And you know, overall it's pretty straightforward once you get used to it. So like you just have to kind of memorize like the different icons, and they obviously, you guys saw when I made that little mistake, it was grayed out, and that's why I couldn't press it. But you know, you just got to be smart in the infotainment system, and apparently I'm not. Also, climate controls here at the bottom. Got the USBs down below. You've got the wireless phone charger right here, a couple cup holders, and then you can see there's more storage space underneath, so tons of practicality. Got the parking assistance here with the hazard lights, parking brake, and then we've got the transmission selector here, and then notice the stitching. And then again, just says GT here on the armrest, and then you have the center console, which you can close with this little lid right here if you want. Have more charging ports, and close that up. And then we have the glove box here, pretty normal. And then notice material use here, and on the top of the dash. Looks really nice from an aesthetic perspective. And like I said, we got the glass roof here at the top. So here's our window sticker for this Mach-E GT. You guys can see all of the standard equipment with it. Freeze frame if you want to read through all of that. But it's got the 400A equipment group, and then you guys can see here $5,000 charge GT Performance Edition. So that's how much this package costs. This has the MagneRide dampening as part of that package. Everything you can see, Ford Performance front seats. So it gives you some of the stuff that's added in the package. But anyways, you can see the total sticker price on this particular one is $69,440. And wait for it. Let's take it out and see if it's faster than the regular GT, I suppose. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. There's visibility of the hood, both the mirrors, which do have blind spot monitoring, and then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So we're starting off here in the GT Performance, and right now we're in the Whisper drive mode. So this is going to be the least aggressive drive mode. And if you're wondering, I am not going to be doing the one pedal driving. I've done that in other Mach-E videos, so if you want to see that, then go watch that. I'm just going to be doing the regular driving because, well, we went on a shorter route than what we normally do, and so it doesn't make sense. But anyways, first thing I mention is this thing definitely feels more on the stiff side. Definitely feels more on the stiff side. I think the regular GT might be a little bit softer than this from a suspension standpoint, so I guess take that into account. Brakes definitely feel more hardcore. They definitely feel more hardcore. It's It's interesting, the difference. And again, this is the whisper mode. Yeah, it gets up and moves just fine in the whisper mode. It's interesting what the gauge cluster is doing with the colors and everything, changing it. And we'll pop into the engage now. So this is probably what you'll drive most of the time, is the engage driving mode. And this is kind of just for like your regular around town driving, and you know, you want to get on it a little bit, right? Steering kind of weights up a little bit too. And handling's still great on this. It feels stiffer. Definitely quick when you get into it just a little bit. Yeah, it's crazy how much power this has, and being, you know, all electric, right, just all the time, so you just always have power, which is great. That's exactly what you want. Now we'll pop it into the unbridled, right? Changes the gauge cluster a little bit. And this is, again, kind of like your performance driving. We've got the propulsion sound on. I'm interested to hear if this has a different propulsion sound than the regular GT. Now it sounds about the same, but I'm gonna wait for this van to go in and punch it. Wow. Wow, first off, couldn't get traction, sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, I wonder if there's a difference. I want to pop it back into engage. And taking a turn here. I want to see if there's a difference. Engage actually feels quicker. Huh. Really? Yeah, engage feels quicker. Weird. So in the regular Mach-E GT, right, unbridled is the quickest, and then unbridled extend, right, it's supposed to conserve range. I'm wondering if this is the opposite, where engage is like the full on, and then the unbridled conserves the range, because yeah, the engage feels quicker. Like, yeah, the engage definitely feels quicker by like a margin. So yeah, I guess we'll sum things up here with this Mach-E GT. First off, exterior wise, it looks like a regular GT. The big benefit is the wheels, but you could just get aftermarket wheels for your Mach-E and boom, fixes it, right? Interior wise, right, you get the different seats. Here's my potentially controversial but honest opinion. I think I would rather just get the GT than the GT Performance. I couldn't really, like, I mean, yeah, they said that there's a 0.3 second 0 to 60 difference, but like, I can't really perceive it. And the brakes feel about, you know, they're a little bit touchier, but it's like, this is a daily driver electric. Yeah, it's a performance SUV, but it's a daily driver electric SUV. How many people are actually gonna take this on the track? And these seats feel kind of weird on your, like the top portion feels weird on my back. Yeah, this is weird. Usually I'm all about like the higher performance versions of a vehicle, but I think the regular GT is the route to go. And these are hard to get too, right? It's very hard to get, and don't worry, I'm doing this because the charging station. But yeah, you guys can see there's a GT Performance right next to me. Or not GT Performance, just regular GT right next to me. I think this is a great vehicle. It's tons of fun, but I mean, I reviewed a GT that was 60,000. This is almost 70,000. I'd rather save the 10 grand, get really nice wheels if I hate the stock wheels in the regular GT, and go for that. This is a cool vehicle. Yeah, I don't know. I prefer the regular GT, but that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Now let's get some things up for our video on this 2021 Ford Mustang Mach-E GT Performance. Long name. And again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Miller Ford Lincoln here in Provo for giving me some time with the Mach-E. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see all of you in the next video.